Hey everybody, welcome to an all-new update from Universal Studios Hollywood. Typically I don't rush to get out Universal or any updates, to be honest with you, but so much is going on at Universal Studios right now. It is happening so fast that if you don't get these updates up within a day or two, it's pretty much obsolete. So went to the park for the first time, I think, since December. Had a great morning at the park. Park is looking great. Obviously lots of things going on with Fast and Furious. We'll walk you through all of this night. We did the studio tour, so we've got a video of going down the hill, showing all the construction, and then a couple of other things. Lots of stuff going on in CityWalk as well. Some big work is going on there. Lots of new shops coming, changes going on, things like that. And then we'll get into some new merchandise too. They've got some new merchandise in the shops that we recognized, or that we noticed yesterday during a visit. They also are doing some work in the front parking lot where the preferred parking is and everything like that. I didn't go get video of it. It's just basically tearing up the parking lot right now. So I didn't really bother with it, but we'll get you through CityWalk and Fast and Furious, and we'll head into the park. Before I get into the update, make sure you click below to subscribe to our channel. As always, greatly appreciated. Alright everybody, so as you can see, the work in CityWalk starts basically right as soon as you get down off the escalators from the parking structure. So some work going on the escalators going up to the food court, and then across the way in front of the theater as well. Just lots of work. I don't know if that's for the former Dongpo, or if that's something new. The new pizza place that was just announced last week, which is the Slice House. I honestly thought that this would be more of a sit-down place, not taking over the mini donut place, but excited to have a new pizza place. Obviously, we've already got Vivo as well, which if you haven't eaten there, has great pizza. But it'll be nice to have another pizza place. And then as we move towards the front of CityWalk, lots of work going on with some of these shops here. The Billabong shop is being closed. The Crepe Place, the Popcornopolis, is closed. So it looks like we've got a Line Friend Square, whatever that is. I'm not quite sure what that is, but definitely we'll be checking that out when it does. And then, as I said, Billabong will be closing. And if I remember correctly, if Billabong isn't an original day one CityWalk establishment, it's pretty close. And then the iFly down near Margaritaville is also closed. I didn't want to walk all the way down there, so I just snapped a pic. Alright, so heading into the park here, we've got Fast and Furious construction, and it is, there's so much going on here. It is happening so fast. Let's take a look at the basically queue and station building. It is absolutely huge. You can see some of the brickwork under the scrims there on the other side when we get around to it. You'll see a little bit more, but the track pretty much towers over everything. So as soon as you basically hit, once you pass Wizarding World, you can start seeing the track of Fast and Furious. Obviously that is with the Springfield buildings as they are now. Who knows what's going to happen with this area in the future. Obviously now that Springfield is Disney, or Simpsons is Disney, we'll see what happens with Springfield in the immediate future. As I mentioned, we did do the studio tour, so we got to get a good look at Fast and Furious progress here all the way down the hill. And you can just see how big this coaster is just from here. So that is looking up at the track that goes over the Starway and under the Starway. And then as we head down the hill, lots more track that looks like they're getting ready to put together the stall, which I think is probably the highest element. I don't know if the crossover from the Starway is higher than this, but it's going to be pretty big there as we approach. And then obviously you see a couple of inversions here. already, and then they are really starting to do a lot of work heading down the rest of the hill. Supports are being installed. Obviously the footers have been dug, and they're now just basically putting everything together. And then here is a look at what is going to be one of the sound walls. So from the studio tour, you probably won't see too much of Fast and Furious, at least in that area on the studio tour, but you can see there they are starting to put supports together for another element that is going up and over, and this is basically right behind Jurassic World. So that is how far Fast and Furious goes down into the side of the hill. It's just fascinating that I've been looking at that hill for so many years, didn't realize how much room was actually there. Yeah, they've taken over quite a lot of the hill there for Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift. And they also they just finished, or they're in the middle of doing some renovations on that soundstage there as well. So heading down to the lower lot, talk about an iconic shot here. What's going to be an iconic shot here of Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift going over and under the Starway. It's very rare these days to have a coaster where you can pretty much see all of it from inside the park. Velocicoaster does a really good job of it, Hulk as well. But this one, you're going to be able to see pretty much all of it as we go over. You're going up and down the Starway up into the lower and lower lot and back to the upper lot. So this is a trick that only experienced vloggers should do, which is trying to get on the Starway while filming. Don't try that at home. Don't try it at Universal. Only if you're experienced. Anyway, so here is that element that we saw from the studio tour. Moving down, so that's where it's going to go under the Starway there. So you're going to be going up and down, and you'll see trains whizzing through that element. And then a little bit more work going on down at on the bottom with the footers and these supports. It looks like they might be getting ready to do some more work on the ground there. And then just looking over the other side, we'll take another look as we come up. Still no word on what this project is, if it's just land grading or anything like that. It does look like it's kind of come down more flat. In the last couple months, you can see that it was tarped for recent rains that we had. So it looks like they did a pretty good job of making sure that didn't flood or get mud all through the lower lot. So that's a good thing. Obviously, we don't share things until we get them confirmed from the park. So no idea what is actually coming here, other than some rumors that are around. But we don't share things until they are formally announced from the park. So we'll keep an eye on this, and then obviously when the park lets us know or sends out a release or anything like that, we will certainly let you know. Alright, so heading back up the Starway, back up to the upper lot. A different look at the coaster from this side here. Again, don't try this at home if you have, trying to film and get on the Starway at the same time. So here we have a look back up at the station and the queue. They are working on the back side of the building there. They're adding in another building, another part of the building there. I don't know if that's just queue or if it's some kind of show element going under and through that. So we'll see. Obviously, a full official rendering of the coaster has not been released from the park yet. Everything that you've seen is just kind of a speculation of, this is what the coaster is going to actually look like. So again, hopefully at some point in the very near future, we'll get a full rendering of the coaster from the park. And then there's so many, this coaster is going to cross under and over itself A lot of times. I try to count how many times. Just it's a twisted mess of steel, and it's glorious, which is great. So if you've ridden Velocicoaster, you'll know that it kind of does the same thing in that first part of Velocicoaster before it goes over the top hat and into the couple of ending elements there. So this is kind of reminiscent of that particular part of Velocicoaster, at least in this area here, this top part. Just a lot of twisted steel that is going to thrill us and spin us, which is interesting. Look down the hill, just to give you a look at how far down construction goes. So this is where we saw from the studio tour. So you can see here, just again, a lot of track and steel and elements that are getting ready to be installed. That element might be installed by now. This is, Tuesday morning. I filmed this, just under 24 hours ago. It could possibly already be done, which is kind of crazy. And it just goes to show how fast they're actually working on this particular project. And just another zoom down the hill there to see the sound wall, and then all of the work. You can see a footer there just waiting for its support right there in the middle. And then we'll take a look at the upper part. Most of this has been done for a bit. You can see again a pretty significant gap there where they're going to be working. Probably you can see that piece of track is being held up there, and then they'll probably get that up and installed in the very near future. Alright, so let's head up the last section of the Starway to get a look at the upper part of the coaster and queue. So again, like I said, I don't know what that building is there what they're constructing. It looks kind of detached from the main queue there and building, but it could be extended queue. But we'll obviously we'll know more soon as we get through. Or it could be I don't see any track going through there, so I don't think it's something that is for track. It could be storage track as well, but I don't see anywhere in that particular area to get if it is storage track. I don't know where they're gonna put it in and out of the area. It could be a maintenance bay as well, but again, I don't see where that's how they're gonna get it in there. But we'll keep an eye on that as we see more of the progress in the next few months. And we'll just swing around the main building here. As I said, on the back side, when we get to the other side, you'll get to see some of the brickwork that's going on. It looks very reminiscent of the supercharged garage that they have for the Fast and Furious Supercharged. And I apologize if that seems a little bumpy. I think this part I accidentally filmed in slow-mo, and then I had to correct it, so that could be why it's not as smooth, so I apologize for that. And then from the backside there, here is a little bit more of the queue building and station, and then zooming out to see the entire coaster and the absolutely spectacular view that we're going to get for this coaster. It's going to have some really incredible views. I can't wait. I know that there's going to be sound walls on the lower part. Down here you can again see all of the sound walls being constructed and things like that. But on that upper part, you're definitely going to be able to see get some great views. One last thing, as I mentioned, there's a lot of new merchandise. There's a lot of Saturday Night Live 50th merchandise. As you probably know, the show had their 50th anniversary over the weekend, so lots of Saturday Night Live 50 stuff. Some pretty good looking merchandise, I thought. They had hats and coffee mugs and all kinds of things. So if you are a fan, make sure you head over and take a look at some of the merchandise that is there. And some costumes too here. We got the church lady and Turd Ferguson on display there, which is great. And some Back to the Future merchandise. They're getting ready for the Fan Fest night, so Back to the Future merchandise is available. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that update from Universal Studios Hollywood. We will probably be back at the park probably relatively soon. We forgot to get our AP magnet yesterday where we were there. It's the Back to the Future Studio Tour one. So I may go back as early as Friday this week for another update and to get my magnet, things like that. So thanks for watching again, and we'll talk to you soon.